What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Cardiac Plays. Today I'm gonna go and today's gonna be a pretty much like a vehicle how-to. So today we're gonna be replacing the fuel pump in this CX-5. This one right here is a 2019 CX-5 right here. So I'm gonna go through the steps that I go through to replace the fuel pumps on these vehicles. So, all right, let's get started. Okay. Alright, so the first things you're going to do is we're going to start the car. Alright. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look for the fuse right here. We're going to look for the fuel pump fuse. Fuel pump right here, 15 amp right over the 10. I'm gonna use our little tool that we have right here. Where was it again? I lost it already. Oh, it's over the 30. Okay, so we're gonna go to the 15 amp right here. It's over the 30. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it. And then what we're gonna wait is for the engine to die. And what that's going to do is relieve any kind of fuel pressure that's in the lines, so that when you disconnect the fuel pump in the back, it doesn't spray fuel all over the place. And there you go. The engine is dead now. The engine just shut off on its own. So now once the engine shut off, I'm going to go ahead and turn the vehicle off. Alright, that's good. I'm going to go ahead and crank it, make sure nothing doesn't start. It wants to start, but that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off. Now once it's off, the next thing you want to do is every time you're working on a vehicle, something with gas or electrical, you're gonna go ahead and disconnect the negative side on the battery. Alright, that's out of the way right there. Alright, so on this is a CX-5. This is going to be pretty much for any CX-5 from like 2017. This is the kind of style, the body. To the current CX-5, the fuel pumps are located underneath the back seat on the driver's side, so it's right under here. So I'm going to show you how to get underneath there. If you look underneath the seat on the front, you're going to see this white little lever. You're going to pull this lever to the side, and it's going to release this little clip right here, as you can see right there. And there's going to be one on the passenger side as well. And put my hand under here, hold it quick, and it's going to let the seat go. And you'll be able to pull the seat up just like this. And let's see. There's a pressure sensor on this seat right here, so go ahead and disconnect that. And looks like there's another sensor. Other side. Well, you actually don't need to disconnect that. What you can do is just lift the seat up and kind of rest it up here. You can pull this little center cup holder out just so it can prop it up. And right underneath, that's going to be the fuel pump access hatch right here. And it's right here. It's closed by just 4 Phillips screws. We're going to go ahead and get those taken out. Alright, so here we go. I always like to use hand tools whenever I'm doing anything with the fuel pump stuff. I don't want to strip any of these out. Alright, so we'll go ahead and remove this latch to the side. And right there you can see the fuel pump. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect the connector to it. There'll be a little push clip on this side. Then right here, this is pretty much the... Alright, so what you want to do is get your flathead. You're going to put it right underneath here. And you're just going to gently twist. And it will and it will raise it on its own, as you can see right there. All right. And once this clip is raised right here, what I like to do is put a few napkins underneath it, because even though we did alleviate the pressure for the car to die, there still is going to be a little bit of fuel spray. So we're going to go ahead and pull the clip all the way up, cover it, and pull it back while it's being covered with the napkin. As you can hear it, there is still some fuel spraying out. Yeah, it's always gonna spray. So me using this napkin to cover it just eliminates any fuel spraying inside the car, because that will cause a lot of smell for the customer, and we don't want that. Alright, so as you can see, the napkin did its job. I'm gonna go ahead and tuck this little line underneath back here so it's out of the way. Alright, soak up a little bit of this gasoline right here. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get, these are Phillips screws right here. There's going to be 8 of them, and we're going to be removing all 8 of those. So you're going to want to use the correct Phillips screwdriver, just so it bites down on these correctly, and you want to do it by hand. You don't want to use any kind of gun or any kind of electric tool. It's just the possibility of stripping them out and damaging them is very likely. So you just want to get a good grip on them, push down, and there it goes. Alright, here's our last one. Alright, and now all those little screws do is they hold this ring down, and this ring is what holds the fuel pump down. So you're going to go ahead and pull this ring out, and one thing you want to notice is the direction of this little notch right here, which is towards the back of the vehicle, because it could only go in on one side. So this notch towards the back of the vehicle. And pull that out. And here's the fuel pump. We're going to go ahead and just lift it up gently. This one is really in there. Okay, so go ahead and use a flathead on the edge right here. Just pry up gently. And there we go. And this customer was very nice to actually bring the vehicle back to us with, it has less than a half. It has like less than a quarter tank of gas actually. So, right here. So you just want to pull this up. And there is going to be a float on the back of it. You want to make sure the float clears the tank. Put your hand underneath to minimize any kind of spillage. And just pull the pump out. And here's this old gasket right here. We'll also be replacing this as well. And that's how you get the fuel pump out. Alright, so once you have the pump out, what you want to do is it will retain some gas in it. So you just want to empty all that gas out of it. And let's get all the gas out of the line as well, as you can see. I'm doing this because I don't want to make a mess of gas all over my toolbox. I'll turn it around, make sure everything comes out of it. There you go. All I'm doing is moving the gas in the line, so so it all drains out. Looks like we're all good on the draining of that. Okay. Alright, so the next step will be right here. What we're going to be replacing is a little C-clip, a little spacer that goes on the pump itself, a little O-ring that also goes on the pump, and the fuel pump. That little fuel pump is inside of this little assembly right here. There's the top right there. That's where it connects into. Alright, so to disassemble this fuel pump right here, all you're going to need is just a small little flathead and then some needle nose. Alright, so the first thing we're going to want to go ahead and do is right underneath here, you can see these two little clips. We're going to want to go ahead and be gentle with these wires. You're going to want to pull this apart right here, just so you can pull the wires out. There's like a little clip right here that holds the wires in. And you're going to want to press on the side and pull that one out. And you're going to want to do the same for the other side. There's just a little button on the side. And you can just pull those out right there. And now for the part with the needle nose, when you push this down right here, there's going to be a small little C-clip right here that we're going to have to remove, so we can remove the top of this. And there's a C-clip right there. And now we're going to be able to pull this top all the way off. Go ahead and pull that out. And then on each of these sides, you're going to have these little clips that hold the fuel pump itself and this little housing to the outer housing. You just want to pull this up. Do it with your fingernail. You can do that with your fingers. It's not that hard. And then there's going to be another one on this side as well. So there's three little clips that hold this down. And then once all three of them are out, you can pull the whole assembly out just like that. And now this part of the fuel pump is held on by these little side clips right here, as you can see. And that's where we're going to be using our flathead to separate that. So first, I like to start with this side right here. And I could separate these with my fingers. I'll go ahead and pull that out, both these sides. And then while putting pressure on these both sides right there, you're going to put the flathead in here. Separate that one. You're going to go to the back. Separate the one on the back, and then it should just slide right out, just like that. And now, go ahead, and we'll pull the fuel pump out. You could just press it in from this side. And here it is, right here. So go ahead and remove this harness. Right, and go ahead and grab our new fuel pump. Here it is. All right, and all you want to do is really kind of follow. Everything's going to be in the box. So here's the little spacer, and here's the O-ring. The kit will come with both of these. All right, open the spacer bag. I'll go ahead and put that spacer on there. And here's the little O-ring. Go ahead and put that O-ring right here. There we go. And now on the harness, go ahead and install the harness as well. And this part right here is done. So we'll go ahead and slide that harness back in there. And the fuel pump can only go in one way. It can only be installed in one direction. So you're gonna go ahead, you can actually fill it, and you're just gonna press it right in. Alright, and that part's installed right there. Now for the next part, we're gonna go ahead and reinstall this bottom path right here. All you wanna do is just line it up as straight as you can. And that is it. And then the last step, you want to make sure to push the fuel pump all the way down. Okay. Now that pump is installed, so we'll go ahead and put it back in the housing right here. Okay, line it up right there. This hose right here goes actually underneath it. Get the spring out of the way. Okay. All right. Okay. That's good right there. I'll go ahead and put that spring back right here. I'm going to feed it right back through. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and grab that C-clip that came in the pack. Get a nice good grip on it. I'm going to shove this down. You're just going to push that C-clip right in there. That's it. C-clip's installed. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and reroute these wires where they were under the two clips. This one goes in there on the left. And this one goes in here as well, just like that. And there it is. We just put a new fuel pump in here. Go ahead and clean it off. We're going to clean this surface on the bottom off because this is where the new gasket will be. And we'll go ahead and do the same with the metal part on the vehicle, with the mating surface on the vehicle. There's the new gasket right here. Okay. That looks good. Alright, so we're back here in the car. So the next thing you want to do is go ahead and clean this mating surface right here. This is where the gasket will be sitting. Just want to make sure it's good and clean, no dust on it. Alright, same with the fuel pump. You want to make sure it's clean. You want to make sure you're not just putting dirt all in the gas tank right there. So alright, so here we go. We're putting it back in the white vehicle. And float side first. Alright. It's good. Now, what I like doing is using the bracket that holds it down to align it, because it can only be installed in one direction. Alright, so that looks good. Now, these are kind of press fit in this tank, so it looks like it's lined up real nice, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little force on it. And there we go. right, next thing we're gonna do is just put all 8 of those screws back in, and we're gonna wanna do that by hand. Okay, and we're gonna want to go reinstall the harness, and then that little line that I hid back here, we're gonna go ahead and fish that back out. And as you can see, you want to install it in that direction because this line can only go on the pump in one direction. All right. Then the final part right here, the little cover. All right, that fuel pump is installed. All right, so the next thing we want to go ahead and do is install the fuel pump fuse. The fuse we took out in the beginning. Install the negative battery terminal. And then we're going to go ahead and turn the vehicle over. And there she goes. And that's pretty much it. The next thing we're going to do is just we're going to go ahead and reinstall this rear seat. Just going to bring it down. We're gonna go ahead and find that little harness again. Pull out this little napkin I left down there. Right, you wanna lighten up the seat belts. Make sure they come right back out. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand. Okay, all right. Those seat belts are out. Just push the chair back, and that's it. Just shove it down on one side, shove it down on the other side, and it is secure. And that is it. And that is how you install a fuel pump on a 2019 Mazda CX-5. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace!